Hey everyone, this is Helena Hart, and I'm talking with Leigha Lake again today. Leigha is a feminine energy coach who helps women attract the love and success they want in their lives, specifically within the framework of the masculine and feminine energy dynamics. And Leigha and I have recorded a few different interviews on this topic, and we just got such a huge response and so many requests for videos that go a little deeper into some of these concepts. So we're really excited to be talking about this today. So welcome, Leigha. Thank you so much for talking with me again.
Thanks, Helena. I'm so excited to do this, as always. I'm really excited for what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, this is definitely one of our favorite topics, and we love talking about this, how to tap into your feminine energy and step into your empowered masculine and empowered feminine energies to just draw everything you want to you, whether that be the man you want, the relationship you've always dreamed of, and the money and success that you really want in your life, maybe the career of your dreams or attracting more clients. Leigha is just an expert in these topics. So I would really love to talk about something that you wrote about in your last newsletter, how men and money and the universe are all the same. Leigha, so anything you want to say on that? I know everyone that would just be so valuable for everyone. I love your newsletters, by the way. Every time Leigha writes a newsletter, I swear, I stop what I'm doing and I read every single word because they're really helpful for me personally. So I'll also include a link to where people can sign up to get those too.
Yay! Okay. Thank you, Helena. um, Thank you for those sweet words. So, yes, so men, money, and the universe are the same. And what I mean by that is they respond to our feminine energy very, very similarly. And just real quick, we all have masculine and feminine energies inside of us. And so does the universe. Money is energy, so it has both. Men have both, so I want to be very clear that everything has both. But when we work within the framework of the masculine and feminine energy outside of us, we draw to us with our feminine energy. And what gets mirrored back to us is our own masculine energy. And I know, Helena, you've talked about this before.
Yeah, specifically in relationships, I've done videos on this, how we attract a mirror image of our own masculine energy, right? So I get a lot of questions on this. An example would be, if you are attracting men who aren't committing or who are kind of keeping you waiting for them to make some decision about you or the relationship, you can really take a look, like, where are you waiting in other areas of your life, right? Where are you not committing to yourself and your own dreams? And that is being reflected back to you in the men you're meeting and attracting. Of course, we're not, you don't want to blame yourself or beat yourself up. And we're certainly not making excuses for men here either, but it's just important to take a look at how these things are really all connected. Leigha, is that something you see as well with your clients?
Yes, absolutely. So if a woman grew up where her father wasn't present enough, or maybe he just didn't really step up and exude that masculine energy presence of stability, safety, support, like I've got your back, we're in this and I'm here, then within herself she'll find that lacking, and so then she'll attract a man who seems similar to that, her father, to that energy. And so recently I had a client who was experiencing this, and she felt like she wasn't receiving some things within her family situation. And I said, okay, well, what would you want your father to do in this situation? And so she's like, well, I would want him to step up and say something that this isn't okay. And I'm like, okay, then that's what you need to do. And so she activated her own empowered masculine energy, and the situation, because she already was aware of the feminine within herself, it just unfolded beautifully. She couldn't have asked for a better outcome. It was just like everyone saw her in a different light because both her masculine and feminine energies were activated and integrated. She wasn't just coming from feminine. She had that masculine support to back her up.
her own masculine support inside herself, right? Is that totally
right?
I've seen that happen over and over in clients, and it's so important. We just want to get this message out there to the world. I know Leigha talks so much about this in her programs and newsletters and things like that. So yeah, when it comes to men and money and the universe being all the same, can we talk some more about that? You know, specifically maybe some examples that that women can implement, certain tools or concepts in order to like make these shifts and start attracting the love and abundance that they want.
Yes. So this really hit home for me so I've been learning and teaching about feminine energy I came across it about 10 years ago and then became a coach just over 5 years ago. You and I did together.
Yeah.
So about a year ago, we had the opportunity to move back to Hawaii, and my husband was on the fence. And what I knew about masculine energy was, okay, he wants me to be happy. He wants to provide the life that I dream about. And I knew that because he wasn't sure, I could not pressure him. I couldn't try and get my way and do any of the wounded energy tactics. Like, okay, if it's meant to be, it will work out because I trust 100% he wants me to be happy, which means he's going to make the best decision for both of us, because he was getting a job transfer. And so I was really able to lean back into that, into trusting that. And then I realized, well, the universe is the same way. The universe wants me to be happy no matter what. And I really connected the two masculine energies. And so with my husband, I didn't try and have conversations with him about wanting to move back. I just like, how is he going to surprise me? That was my mantra. I wonder how he's going to surprise me with this. And then I'm like, oh, well, let me bring in the universe. I wonder how the universe is going to surprise me. And what happened, it was just like a complete energy shift that took my manifesting to the next level. So he's like, we're going to go back. We're going to do this. And it felt amazing because I didn't try and make it happen. I knew that he was making his own decision. So there would be no feelings of manipulation or this is what you wanted and I didn't really want this, like none of that, because I could trust and surrender into the outcome.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. I just remember getting that text from you a year or two ago that you're moving back to Hawaii. And I was so excited because it's something that I knew you wanted for a while. So I love that example. And I can see how women, I mean, of course, it works with men. If we're trying to push our agenda onto them or step into our either wounded masculine or wounded feminine to try to like get what we want from them, it never works. And even if it does get you some kind of short-term result, it doesn't feel good to us either. And you just can't keep that going forever, not in a healthy relationship dynamic, right? I think it would probably be helpful for those of you who haven't seen some of our other videos. Of course, I'll post links to them, but for this video, maybe just briefly going over the wounded and the empowered energy so everyone is really clear on what we're talking about here.
Yes. And then I do have another example to help really bring it home. So the wounded feminine feels, just like a description is like, she feels like the damsel in distress. She feels like someone else has more power over her life than she does. She can feel like a victim. She can feel powerless, like a child waiting for someone to come in and save her and make decisions for her. So the wounded feminine will have a difficult time making decisions. She'll have a lot of self-doubt. She will second guess herself, and she will feel like she just lacks the direction to move forward in her life.
Right. Yeah. She lacks the motivation to take care of herself, right? She's kind of waiting around for a man to make a decision or for something to happen. And a lot of people, unfortunately, equate that with feminine energy. We talk so much about feminine energy, and a lot of people think, oh, well, you're just supposed to let a guy do whatever he wants and come and go as he pleases. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Just the whole helpless victim, damsel in distress is wounded feminine energy. the way we're talking about it, right?
Right, exactly. And so, um, so part of the wounded, and this is something I experienced with a woman I was working with. She was implementing the tools that we teach, and nothing was happening. She felt like nothing was happening, and so she was getting really angry with the universe, like yelling, throwing tantrums, and our relationship with the universe will be mirrored back to us with our relationships with men and our relationship with money. So we all just knowing that if we are in our wounded feminine throwing a tantrum or feeling entitled or just like frustrated and impatient that something's not happening quick enough, then the universe, it will not interact in a codependent way.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, we can all slip into this. We all have different like versions of all four of these energies operating, right? So it's just about the awareness. You know, I can certainly be impatient and want things to happen right now. As most of you know, if you've seen some of my other videos, the reason I talk about this a lot and write about it a lot is because something I've struggled with really my whole life, but really like shifting into this trusting and allowing more of an empowered feminine energy on that side of things has totally shifted everything for me. Do you want to talk about the empowered feminine energy now?
Yes. So, okay, so just to continue on a little bit with that same scenario of like feeling as if the universe is withholding or like being in that wounded energy of I can't get what I want. So then the empowered feminine, I shared with her is like, what if the universe were your lover and wanted you to be happy? That's where this kind of came around. And she was like, well, then that changes everything. And it's like, yeah, how would you respond if a man wasn't doing something quick enough, but you had this amazing relationship? Well, she would be able to trust that things would unfold in the perfect way. So then that leads us into that empowered feminine energy of believing that you can have what you want, believing that, or trusting the process, trusting that what you need will come to you. And do you want to expand on that, Helena?
Yeah. The empowered feminine is like the confidence to trust in your desires and express them in a very authentic way. It's like the confidence to really be seen for who you are. All of the feminine energy qualities that we talk about so much. We talk about this extensively in a program we did together called The Art of Getting the Commitment You Want. So it's just the other side of it. When it's all the feminine energy qualities that you want to embody, trusting, allowing, responding, expressing yourself, receiving, those kinds of things, right?
Right. Yes. So it's that leaning back, trusting, surrendering, knowing that you can have what you want, but in a way where you're fulfilled and happy in your life right now. So there's no urgency for something new to come in to fulfill an unmet need. Like you're happy and whole already. I think that's super important to understand.
Yeah, that's totally right. Yeah, so the wounded masculine then would be, bullying, trying to push and shove your way into getting your needs met without empathy or without any sort of regards to the other person. I believe you talked about in your last video, this can show up in like narcissistic personality tendencies, right? Or emotionally unavailable. Anything else you want to add for the wounded masculine?
Yes. So the wounded masculine, if somebody doesn't know, like the wounded masculine would be the narcissistic and the wounded feminine would be more on the codependent side. So it'd be like codependent and on this timeline narcissistic. And so these two will be matched up energetically. And a sign of that is when someone, like if you express how you feel, if a feminine energy a woman's expressing how she feels and it gets turned around on her or in any way, then that is a wounded masculine.
Mm. Totally makes sense. Yeah, that one's a little more clear, kind of speaks for itself. So the empowered masculine then would be like giving freely without an agenda, right? Being there to support the feminine. What else do you have to say on the empowered masculine?
Yes. Okay. So the empowered masculine feels like it has that strong, steady, stable structure. And we do talk about this and getting the commitment you want. It's
Mhm.
a structure. And so, like, if you imagine the lighthouse that I've talked about, it's that, like, the structure holding that lighthouse strong so that the feminine energy can really lean back and relax in order to have the energy to create and to attract and stay in that higher energy because she's supported by the masculine structure. So it's also that, like, we've got this, I know it's going to happen, everything's going to work out. And masculine energy man, those are the words he will use. He'll say, I know everything's going to work out. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I know it will.
Yeah, totally, totally. So it's not about going out and searching for this empowered, masculine man. It's about tending to that energy within yourself, and then that's what will be reflected back to you in the outside world. That's what you're going to attract once you get these energies functioning more freely the way they're supposed to within yourself, right?
Yes, yes, I love that. And actually, I know that's why women come to us because they want to, it's like, how are you doing what you're doing? How do people just come to you? How is it so easy for you? And I know it's been the same way for you, Helena. You've just pretty much like effortlessly been flowing so that what you touch just becomes a success. And it's because of these inner energies being integrated together.
Wow, thank you for saying that. I didn't even think about it like that. It's so hard when it comes to yourself. Think, oh, is that how it is? But it's easy for us to see it, at least for me to see it in someone else. So wow, thank you. I know for Leigha as well, people ask me like, wow, how does she get these dream clients and put on these amazing like masterminds and programs? And so it works. Can you give an example? I love your example about moving back to Hawaii with your husband and not wanting to like step into your wounded energies to try to get what you want. Can you give an example where a woman could implement some of these things when it comes to attracting like success or clients or something like that?
Yes. So we want to make sure both of her, like if she's, both energies are activated and integrated. So if she's thinking any thoughts like, well, nothing's happening, or I feel like I need to go out and do something, because that, like, it's like worrying about money. It's like we feel responsible when we're worrying about money, but it's not actually helping. That's what I feel is happening when someone's like, nothing's happening, like no men are coming towards me, or I want to attract more clients. It all starts with the inner work. And the most important thing we can do is cultivate a sense of safety, security, and support within ourselves. And one of my favorite ways to do this is just to imagine the arms of the universe wrapping around me as I fall asleep. Like you don't need to worry about this. And that's actually um, something when something that I do quite often, just to because it's the cultivation of the feelings inside of us.
I love that. It's funny that I've had a similar experience of that too. It just kind of, you just feel supported. It just came to me once. I think I was on a hike where I was worried about something, I think it was some kind of financial thing. It was a long time ago. And just this feeling of like, the universe has your back. There's nothing to worry about here. And that's just been reflected back to me over and over. And I can see how that totally works in relationships as well. Can you speak to that when it comes to maybe if a woman's been single for a long time and she's not attracting that high quality man, or maybe her relationship isn't going so well.
Okay, so if she can focus on her relationship with the universe first, if she wants to attract love, like that would be the place to start. It's like, okay, I know the universe wants me to be happy, wants me to have what I want, and my job is to find peace and happiness in my life currently right now. And so if we start to, like, if a woman starts to feel like nothing's happening, or what if this doesn't happen? one of my clients shared this tool with me and I love it, where she was paddleboarding, and whenever she would look down at her feet or at the end of her board, she would start to lose balance, and it would just take a lot of effort for her to stay up. But when she would look at the horizon, then she was able to get to where she wanted to go. It felt more fun. She felt more solid and stable on her board. And it is the exact same way with relationships, men, money, right? When we micromanage and focus on the details by looking down at what's right in front of us right now, we lose our balance. We won't be able to stay up, so to speak. But if we look at the horizon and we see the big picture, then it's like we give ourselves some relief, and that's what we're looking for.
I love that. When you said that, something kind of came to me. It's like when we're driving on the freeway or something, we're not sticking your head out looking at where we are, right? You're looking ahead to where you're going. You're not trying to deal with the ground that's underneath you. Is that a similar kind of thing, right?
Yes, it's so similar. It's like, I feel like that is like one of the number one things that keeps what we want at arm's length, right? That focus, that micromanaged, super intense focus on what is happening in this exact moment when you want to be somewhere else.
Oh my gosh, now I'm getting all excited. I love talking about this. It's my belief, right? And of course, I'm not saying that this is the way the universe is, because who knows, right? It's my belief that things are constantly changing. They're just often changing into more of the same. Like that, in my opinion, that's kind of the law of the universe. You can't cease expanding, right? But if you're focused on what's going on right now, or maybe what's happened in your past, if you're so worried that, if men have hurt you before, that they'll hurt you again, right? You think your history is going to be your destiny, and that's all you talk about with your friends when it comes to that topic. You're just creating more and more of that. Where if you can think of your life and the world is constantly changing, is it changing to more of the same for you, or is it changing to something different? So like flowing your energy to what you want, right? Looking ahead out of that car window or on the horizon if you're paddleboarding. That's like one of the best things anyone could ever learn how to do, in my opinion. What do you think about that, Leigha?
Yes. No, I absolutely agree. Like, if a woman can do just that, then she will attract what she wants to her. It's only a matter of time.
This is such an important concept. Let's give an example. So let's say a woman does want to attract a great relationship, or get maybe the commitment she wants, which is what we talked about in our program. How would she remove her attention on what's going on right now and flow that energy towards what she wants? I know it can be difficult. Like this, if this were easy, we would all just do this naturally, right? But often what's going on right now has our attention so much that it's preventing us from looking ahead a little bit and flowing our energy towards what it is we actually desire.
Yeah, so such a big concept, because it is the inner work. It is what, like, our beliefs will be mirrored back to us in our reality. And so we get to choose, like, oh, do I have to work really hard for this? Or can it be easy? Can I be happy before he shows up? If you don't believe you can be happy before he shows up, then that's what you're going to experience. But then so masculine energy, the number one desire is to make the feminine energy happy. But it won't do that. It just, with the wounded energy, a healthy masculine energy will not come in and save a wounded feminine energy.
So true. I love that. If you want to attract a whole healthy man, you have to be whole and healthy and coming from an empowered place, right? So important. And I had something else I want to mention and I just lost it. What was it? Do you have anything when it comes like specifically to just life as well, to money? How do you do that? How do you take your focus off of what's happening right now? And like, where could a woman put her focus? Like, do you have like an exercise or a tool or visualization? I know you have like hundreds of them, but like maybe like one of your favorites when it comes to taking these concepts where we talk about so much when it comes to dating and relationships and applying it towards for career or attracting success? Any tools that are helpful for that?
Yes. Okay. So it the feeling state is the feminine energy state, and the feminine energy goes first with the creation, attraction, and manifestation. So I teach those 3 steps. Um, and the most important thing a woman could do is cultivate the feelings that she wants to feel. And so if she wants to, okay, so cultivating that relationship with the universe as if the universe were her lover will immediately, not immediately, but maybe for me it was immediate to feel like, oh my gosh, I really have this relationship with the universe and he does want to make me happy. And when I know that to be true, then I can really lean back and relax into how things are unfolding. And then the next part, I had someone ask me, well, how do I surrender? How do I really give up this need for things to be a certain way? And I said, well, imagine the universe making love to you. And for me, that just feels so melty. like, and so that feeling of being just loved and adored and cherished by the universe is that feeling, like that is like the ultimate feeling for me to for manifestation.
Yeah, I mean, completely different feeling than the universe or, being something, that you have to prove yourself to. Like, I don't think we're here to prove our worthiness. Like, we talk about this a lot in the feminine art of attraction. If you have a desire for something, just your sheer wanting of it, in our opinion, here is proof that you're automatically worthy. And there's no big price to pay. You might just be leveraging bigger energy if it's a really big desire, like attracting your soulmate or attracting lots of money. But it doesn't mean you have to pay a bigger price for those bigger desires, right? So I love the idea of the universe, wanting to love you and give to you and make you happy, rather than you having to prove your worthiness to it. That shift alone can really change your life. I've certainly found that to be true. Leigha, how about you?
Yes, like this is, I mean, to me, this is it. And so just notice like what came up for you. And I shared that. Like, did you feel triggered or did you feel a sense of expansion? And it's really about where we are in our, like how receptive we are. Are we really able to receive what's already right in front of us?
Yeah, right. When you said it now, today, I felt amazing. I'm like, yes, that feels amazing. 10 years ago, I might have felt shut down, like, oh, maybe I don't deserve that. Maybe I can't have what I want. And I know we all go through this. I mean, once you get what you think you want, you're going to want more and more things. You don't want to beat yourself up for having these desires, because having desires, I believe, is what kind of calls this like life force through you. I don't think you would be happy if you weren't wanting things and then getting them. Like, that's just kind of the why we're here, I think, for the joy along the way of getting what we want. I mean, try that on for size, rather than we're here to get things done and work hard and fix something that's broken. I don't believe any of those things to be true anymore. Leigha, what about you?
Yes, yes, exactly. And so when the feminine comes in with the desire, she is the spark, then the masculine energy literally cannot help himself to come in and support that.
Mm.
And so it's this beautiful dance, this beautiful relationship. And there was something else I was going to say about it. Maybe it'll come back to me.
I love what you said, and when you and it just brought up this idea of when you can get into that place, you're in your empowered, both your own empowered masculine and empowered feminine. The men you attract, every move they make towards you will be like honoring, right? The way they touch you will be honoring. The way they talk to you and give to you and want to take care of you, it's in an honoring way. It's not in a I'm doing this to get some need met of mine, kind of unhealthy surface level or codependent way, right?
Right, right. Yes, so true. It'll feel good. And that's the number one thing, right? Is that we feel good with what a man is doing. So that's how we know if it's codependent or toxic or not, or if it's exactly what we want. And so those feelings, I think this is what I was going to say, is that when we're able to cultivate those feelings of the universe wanting to provide and deliver, and we can really lean back, it it allows us to be open and receptive. And when our energy is soft and open, then we can receive, and we have access to our intuition, and we can like move in a direction in such a quicker way than if we're shut down and doing things the hard way, which is within the wounded energies.
I love that. And I know you talk about this a lot in your new program, which is starting very soon, on feminine energy secrets, right? So before we close out, any like last tips or tools or anything you'd like to share about? I'll post a link to that, of course, in the description, so everyone can go check that out. I love Leigha's perspective so much. It's just so different, and it's so just like the way it works. I've certainly found that to be true. And I know it can be difficult when you're first learning these concepts because they're a little complicated. But any last words of wisdom, or do you want to break it down even further before we close out?
Okay, so this is the way it works. And my clients are just watching their realities like just change before their very eyes. And that's what I've seen for myself as well. And okay, so just a real quick thing, like the stages of manifesting. So we do the creation, the attraction, and then the manifesting. But the attraction phase is where the journey is. It's the most fun. It can be the most fun unless we get wobbly and we're micromanaging, and it's the space where things can go effortlessly or where things are going to feel like it's just not going to happen for you. And we get to choose how we're going to navigate that space.
Amazing. I love that. I think everyone should probably watch this video over again, and maybe some ones we need to really let it sink in. I know some of those things that you just said there, Leigha, I want to just rewind and watch like 5 or 6 times because they're so powerful. And if you can really get these concepts down, it can truly change your life, not just your love life, but literally every area of your life. It's so interesting how they're all interconnected, especially the energy of men and money, right? So this was so amazing, Leigha. Thank you so much again. For everyone watching, let us know what you think about this in the comment section, or if there's any other videos you'd like us to create around some of these topics. We would love to do that, or at least I would love to do that. Leigha, hopefully you would be on board for that too, because this is just so much fun.
Oh my gosh, yes, I would love to. And we definitely want to hear what your comments and your thoughts and feelings on this. So definitely post those below. And thank you, Helena, for having me.